All right, everybody. Come to a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Don't sit up on a block right away. Let your knees fall out to the side and just kind of take inventory of which hip feels tighter. You're like maybe right, maybe left. Then switch the cross of your ankles. And notice the difference if one side feels tighter or the same or loose. And this little exercise is an example of how we create imbalances in ourselves every day. So whenever you come to a cross-legged seated position, you probably do the first position of your legs. And then we're like, whoa, why is my back hurting on one side or tight on one side? So bringing awareness to what we do and how we do it is very important in opening up the body and stretching it. So take both legs and straighten them out. So before we check in, let's just show ourselves some love and windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And take your right ankle to your left knee. Lean back on your hands. You may have to slide them back a little bit if you're feeling tight today. And bend your left knee, slide your left knee in, shin toward your chest. Flex your right foot and then gently sway back and forth, side to side. Bring some movement to the hips. If this is your first early morning practice of the day, this might be feeling a little tight. And straighten out that leg. Switch the cross, left ankle to top of the right thigh. Slide the right foot in, bringing your left shin closer to your chest, flexing your left foot, and then rocking back and forth. Now right away, you might notice that one side feels different than the other side, and then notice if it's the side that you don't cross in first. It's very, very interesting. So I think just like in life, sometimes we participate in our own discomfort and our own imbalances. And that's what the yoga is about, bringing awareness, straighten out that leg, so we can fix the things that throw us off. Draw the soles of the feet together. And slide your feet further away from your pelvis to make a wide diamond shape. For Tadasana, or just a gentle variation of Tadasana, star pose. See how your knees, and now as you lean forward, bending your elbows out to the side, your elbows make the point of a star. Take your hands over your toes, tent your fingertips together, and then just gently bow forward, taking notice how the hips are feeling today. And come all the way up. Now take any cross of your legs that you like, the natural way, the slightly unnatural way. Notice if there's a difference now between the first time you did it and this time. And then you have the option to place a block underneath your seat to check in or stay flush with the ground. Bring your palms down onto your knees for a grounding gesture. Roll your shoulders back and down. Chin parallel to the floor. Close your eyes. Turn to your breathing. Your breathing is the engine of your practice. Helps you access power. It helps you access a sense of calm and well-being. Let your breath be your soundtrack through today's class. Now just take a scan right from the crown of your head all the way down your back, through your hips, all the way out through your toes. Noting, especially if you have a different configuration in your leg, if you feel different areas of tightness or possible looseness. And just take notice of where your body is today. And bow your chin to your chest. And I invite you to set an intention for today's practice, to check in, to become more aware of your habits, physical, Also mental. Do we happen to think habitually we're not good enough, strong enough, young enough, pretty enough to do whatever it is we want to do? Awareness doesn't fix everything, but awareness is the step forward toward fixing everything. So invite that awareness into your practice today. Slowly open your eyes, come back into the room. And let's begin to move. Draw yourself forward onto all fours. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. All 10 fingers spread. Inhale, arch your back, look up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, round your back, look towards your navel. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round your back, look towards your navel. 2 more. Inhale, arch the back, warm up the muscles along the spine. Exhale, round your back, turn within. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round your back, turn within. Inhale to a flat back, lift your chin. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, take your right arm up toward the ceiling, open up your chest. As you exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left, coming to rest on your outer right shoulder, right temple. Pop up onto left fingertips here, left elbow high. If you're comfortable, extend that arm straight up toward the ceiling. And if you're still comfortable, flip your palm, bend your elbow, seek out your left hip crease. Pausing where you are comfortable, remembering this is your practice, it's your time on your mat. Release the bind. Take your right hand back down into the mat and straighten your arms, coming back into tabletop position. Your next inhale finds your left arm reaching up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, slide your left arm underneath your right, coming to rest on your outer left shoulder, left temple. Popping up onto right fingertips like you have a tennis ball underneath the palm of your right hand, right elbow high. And if you're comfortable here, extend your right arm up toward the ceiling. If you're still comfortable, flip your palm, bend your elbow, seek out your left hip crease. Come back to center. Hand finds the mat, come back into tabletop position. Walk your knees 2 inches back. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Hips make the shape of an upside down letter V. Begin to pedal out the feet here, lowering one heel to the floor and then the other. Pausing for a moment, enjoying the calf stretch. Come to center. Bend both knees. Lift your tailbone toward the ceiling and straighten your legs by rolling your inner thighs back toward the wall behind you. Pressing into all 10 fingers, press your chest toward your upper thighs a little more. Inhale here. Exhale, gently lower onto your knees, child's pose. Untuck your toes, hips to heels, arms are extended, forehead to the ground. Inhale, draw your body forward onto the mat. Lower your chest down between your thumbs. Tops of the feet are relaxed on the floor. Press into your hands, lift your chest and sternum an inch or 2 off the ground, elbows hug back. As you exhale, hips to heels, tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Take your right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Keeping your right knee as high as possible. Squaring your shoulders off toward the top of your mat. Straighten your right leg. Come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, pull forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Press the ground away, round the space between your shoulder blades. Pull the belly up and in. As you exhale, bend your elbows straight back, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, rolling over your toes, straighten your arms up, dog. Exhale, roll back over your toes, lift your hips for downward facing dog. Lift your left leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Bend your left knee, opening up the hip. Left knee super high. Square your shoulders off toward the top of your mat. Straighten your left leg. Left foot finds the floor, down dog. Inhale, pull forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Press the floor away, arms super straight. Round the space between your shoulders. As you exhale, bend your elbows straight back, chaturanga. Inhale, roll over your toes, straighten your arms, upward facing dog. Press back over the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Deep breath here. Exhale, lower to your knees, tabletop. Knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. Take your right knee over to the right, like you're peeing on the person to your right. Keep the knee bent at a 90-degree angle and make circles to the front. 1, 2, and 3. I hear pops. Nice. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3. Lower your right knee to the ground and return the favor on the left side, taking your left knee out to the side, rolling your knee forward, down and around 2 more times. And roll it back 3 times. And lower your left knee down to the ground. Extend your right arm straight ahead like you're reaching for the person across the way. Like, help me. Extend your left leg straight back for bird plank. Bird dog plank? That's good. Inhale here. Exhale, connect your elbow to your knee in the middle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. Bend your left knee. Sweep your right hand back for the top of your left foot. Kick your left foot back into your right hand and lift. And release. Extend your left arm straight ahead like you're reaching for the person across from you. Sharp exhale before you lift your right leg back. Inhale here. Exhale, connect elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. Bend your right knee, sweep your left hand back, grab the top of your right foot. Kick that foot back into your hand, lift up. And release. Left hand finds the floor. Walk your knees 2 inches back. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Reconnect with your breath every time you get to downward facing dog, which is the world's most non-resting rest pose. Inhale, look up at your hands. Begin to walk to the top of your mat, crisscrossing at the ankles, coming high onto the ball of the feet, maybe prancing forward, floating forward, making your way forward, picking up your hands when you have to, coming to the top of the mat. Hang over your legs, bend in your knees, belly onto your thighs, grab opposite elbows and just sway back and forth side to side. Releasing all tension in your neck. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Release your hands down to the mat. Put a slight bend in your knees, belly pulls in as you tuck your tailbone under and round up to stand, bone by bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. If you didn't make it all the way to the top of your mat, make your way there now. Feet inner hip width distance apart, hands to prayer at heart center. Inhale, reach your arms forward, up and back, palms connect overhead. As you exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, right leg goes straight back, low lunge. Inhale, left arm up, twist, open up the chest. Exhale, left hand finds the floor. Inhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Exhale, lower into child's pose. Inhale, draw your body forward onto the mat. Lower your middle rib cage between your thumbs, baby cobra. Lift up an inch or 2. Exhale, hips to heels, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee taps the back of the left arm. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee taps the back of the right arm. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee pulls into the chest. Left foot steps down between your hands. Grab and drag if you have to. Right knee lowers down. Untuck your back toes. Reach your arms forward, up and back. Inhale, crescent pose, arch back. Exhale, touch down. Step up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up, palms connect, arch back, reach back. Exhale, hands straight through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips down, left leg goes straight back, low lunge. Inhale, right arm up, twist. Exhale, right hand finds the floor. Inhale, step back, down dog. Exhale, let it out the mouth. Inhale, pull forward, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee taps the back of the right arm. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, twist, right knee taps the back of the left arm. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee pulls into your chest, right foot steps down between your hands. Grab and drag if you have to. Lower your back knee down. Reach your arms forward, up and back. Sink your hips. Inhale. Exhale, touch down, step up, forward fold. Inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. All the way down you go. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Hands down. You may have to walk your feet back. Begin to transfer your weight from your feet into your hands. Kick back. Jump back, handstand back, crow back, chaturanga on the way down. Bend the elbows as you go. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Take one step in, fairy dogs. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, pull your right knee into your chest. Inhale, look up at your hands. Exhale, shoot your right leg up, leap, lift the left foot off the floor. Right knee pulls in. Exhale, shoot the right leg up, leap, lift the left foot off the floor. Right knee pulls in. Exhale, shoot the right leg up, leap, left foot pulls up off the floor, and child's pose, relax. Hips to heels, forehead to the ground. Thinking about the techniques in fairy dogs. Something I'd like you guys to focus on today. Walk your hands back up to your knees, sit up and take a look over here. In your fairy dogs, one step in will do ya. A little bit of a bigger step in will get you more balance. Left leg pulls up. Exhale in. Inhale, make sure you're looking up at your hands. Exhale, shoot the leg up, both legs straight. Exhale, come down. Inhale here, look up at your hands. Exhale, extend, reach through the toes. You'll find a little bit more hang time. On the left side, I'm sure this is going to be the good side. Downward facing dog. Take a step in, a little bit more of your saucy. Left leg straight up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee pulls into your chest. Inhale, look up at your hands. Exhale, lift the leg up. Breathe loudly. Inhale in. Exhale, extend. Leap. Inhale in. Exhale, go for it. Very nice. Child's pose. Breathe. If you have a moment where you feel like you're going to fall over, that's okay. Feet up, feet down. Keep your cool. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look up at your hands. Bend your knees. Exhale, float your feet to your hands. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your arms up, overhead, palms connect. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Inhale into Utkatasana, chair pose. Very good. Feet, knees, thighs together, or everything is apart. No halvesies. Arms reach up or straight ahead toward the person in front of you like you need a hug. It's 100% okay. Bend your knees a little more. Sink your weight back into your heels. Lean your weight onto your left side. Take your right ankle and cross it to your left knee. Now reach forward like you really need a hug, because you might. Bend your elbows. Place your forearms on your shin for skiing funky chair. I'm pretty sure this is what you'd look like skiing in a chair. Inhale, rise up, reach up, release the cross of your legs. Exhale, back into chair pose. Take the other ankle, Cross it to your right knee. Reach forward. And then take your forearms to your shin for funky chair. And reach up. Uncross. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, go for it. Meet me in chaturanga. Curl back, handstand back, walk back. Bend your elbows on the way back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee taps the back of the right arm. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee taps the back of the left arm. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee pulls into your chest. Step your right foot down between your hands. Back heel lowers down to the floor. Rise up, warrior one. Arms are by your ears, palms face one another. Front knee is directly over your front ankle. Squaring shoulders and hips toward the top of your mat or the person in front of you. Widen your feet east to west if that allows you more freedom to square your hips off. Interlace all 10 fingers behind your lower back. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. As you exhale, bow forward, humble warrior. Right shoulder grazes the inside of the right thigh. Arms come up and overhead. Pinkies tap the floor in front of you. Like maybe not today. Release your hands down to the mat. Step back plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Lower onto your knees, tabletop. Knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Bend your right knee and take it out to the side like you're peeing on the person to your right. Keep that leg lifted. Now extend your right leg to straight. Maybe resting your foot on your coffee table, your couch, or your friend. It's okay, they like it. Reach out and touch someone. And rebend your knee, right knee down. Left knee lifts out to the left. And extend your left leg out to the left. And return the favor with gusto. Bend your knee, left knee comes down. Walk your knees 2 inches back, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Left leg straight up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee taps the back of the left arm. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, twist, left knee taps the back of the right arm. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee pulls in. Step your left foot down between your hands. Right heel lowers down to the ground. Rise up, warrior one. Arms by your ears, palms face one another. Left knee is directly over your left ankle. And then square your shoulders and hips off toward the top of the mat, widening your feet, thinking more skis than tightrope in order to give yourself a little more space. Now being aware, interlace all 10 fingers behind your back and notice how funky it feels to cross the opposite thumb on top. Roll your shoulders back, and as you exhale, bow forward, keeping strength in your legs, bringing your arms up and overhead, releasing the crown of the head toward the ground, but not at the expense of letting the left hip escape out toward the left side of your mat. Draw that left hip back. Release your hands down to the mat. Step it back, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Take your right leg out to the right side of your mat, putting a 90-degree bend in your right knee like you are from a down dog position. You know what? Peeing on your neighbor. Try to extend the right leg all the way out to the side, holding it level or resting it on the friend to your right. Bend your right knee, right foot finds the floor. Down dog, inhale here. Exhale, child's pose. Connect your hips to heels. Draw your body forward onto the mat, baby cobra. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Right leg, left leg lifts straight up and back. Bend your left knee, left leg goes out to the side. Extend your left leg out to the left, waking up the muscles of the outer hip, activating them, and using your neighbor to the left to your advantage. And rebend that knee, left foot finds the floor, child's pose. Lots of groaning going on in the room. I like it. That means I'm doing my job.
Suffering. You're one back.
One. Time for cartwheels. Walk your hands back to your knees. From downward facing dog, I'm going to give the camera my best angle. Walking your feet toward the right side of your mat and stepping in. Left leg comes up into the air. Looking up at your hands, inhaling. Exhale, scissor kick. And land on the left side of your mat with the right leg in the air. And if you want to make me happy, inhale, look up at your hands. Big exhale, shh, all the way to the other side of the mat. We all move together and you only have the real estate of your mat to jump. Notice the straightened legs. Exhale, look up at your hands. Those are your points of focus this morning. Hands down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk both feet to the right side of the mat. Take a step in, or two if you're feeling saucy. Left leg straight up and back. Inhale, look up at your hands. 1, 2, 3, exhale, leap, scissor kick, land. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, exhale, scissor kick, land. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, exhale, scissor kick, land. One more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, scissor kick, land. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're getting off rhythm. Child's pose. It's all good. It's what I wait for. Very addictive, I know. Breathe, relax. Again, in your cartwheel, it's the perfect opportunity to notice one side versus the other. One side probably feels like you can almost nail that handstand, and the other side feels like you've never done it before, ever. You're relearning everything from the beginning, but that's okay. What side should we then probably work on a little more in our home practice? How do we contribute to our own imbalances? All food for thought. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up at your hands. Big exhale, leap to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, sit down into chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees a little bit more. Bend your knees a little bit more. Drop it like it's hot. Butt down, heels up. Boat pose for one breath. Flip the palms, pull your chest through. And as you exhale, lower your feet to the ground, lower your elbows behind you. Bent knees. That's pretty much like you're looking cute. Yeah, feet to the ground, yo-yo. I love the enthusiasm though. Straighten out your left leg. Right ankle to the top of your left knee. Bend your left knee in. Extend your left leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Bend. Plant the sole of the left foot down. Switch the cross of your legs. Left ankle to right knee. Bend the right knee in. Extend the right leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Bend the right knee, right foot down, left foot down. Extend the legs out, lie down. Bend your knees into your chest. Take little circles to the right and to the left. Reach for the pinky toe sides of both feet with your hands for yoga's hottest pose, happy baby. Draw your knees in toward your ribs and toward the floor, soles of the feet toward the ceiling. Just rock back and forth, side to side. Work it out with your neighbor. Bless you. I'm going to separate you two. And release. Knees together, extend your legs to straight, arms up and overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, sit on up. Cross your ankles, roll over your shins, Make your way back into downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Look up at your hands. Begin to crawl your feet to the outside of both hands. Coming into Malasana, yogic squat. Heels in, toes out. Sink the booty down. If the heels begin to lift up, just lift yourself to your thighs. Sit all the way down, hands to prayer. Use your elbows to straighten your spine. Breathe here for a moment, keeping the feet turned out to the side, keeping happiness in your heart in this pose. Hands down to the ground. Now, if you're really close to the top of your mat, take a moment and ribbit back. A little hop. That was graceful, everyone. Lean forward into your hands. Hug your knees around your upper arms. Keep your feet pointing out to the sides. Lean forward, booty relatively low here, and lift your feet. Just flick out your toes for flying frog pose. Ribbit. And now squeeze your knees around your arms and shoot it back. Oh, chaturanga. Break your microphone. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Option to lower down onto your left forearm to get a deeper twist. And straighten the right leg. Lift the elbow if you left elbow if you lowered it. Exhale, pull your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot down between your hands. Keep the back heel lifted. Rise up, high lunge. Arms by your ears, palms face one another. Find a moment here in your high lunge to really enjoy the hip flexor stretch in the back leg. And keep your gaze steady on the ground in front of you as you step up onto your right foot and pull your left knee up into your chest. Take your left knee out to the side like you are Captain Morgan. Reach your left hand to your left ankle and pull your left foot to the inner right thigh for tree pose. Both hands to prayer at heart center. And then all together grow the tree. Extend the arms up toward the ceiling. Ah. Pull the left knee back into the chest, releasing the foot from the thigh, and step it back, high lunge. One smooth move, or two or three. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Twist toward the right, hook your left elbow to the outer right thigh. Work your hands toward heart center, rolling your right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Release both hands to the ground. Lower your back knee to the ground. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot toward the right edge of your mat. Retuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee coming into high lizard. And rock forward and back, side to side. Lifting the chest, sinking the hips. And pausing in the middle. Option to lower your back knee down and make your way onto forearms, or place your forearms onto blocks. Take your foot over a little bit more, yo-yo. This front foot, yeah, slide it out all the way to the edge of your mat if you can. And keep the toes pointing in the same direction. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Straightening out your arms. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Bend your left knee. Reach your right hand back for the pinky toe side of your left foot. Once you have a hold of that, and you roll your right shoulder back and puff out your chest, option to lower down on your left forearm. Taking the twist even deeper. leaning back, almost like you're falling back. Beautiful. Release. Straighten your arms. Heel toe your right foot back between your hands and begin to kick your right leg forward to straighten it, coming into half split. Or full split. Pause and half split with your hands on blocks. Make sure your front foot is flexed, and then take your split into whatever depth you would like. Breathe here. Splits are one of those poses that you don't have to over effort in order to see progress. So if you're feeling cold or if you're feeling tight for whatever reason, honor that in your body today and back off it a little bit. And rebend your front knee. Sole the right foot down. Slide your left knee forward 3/4 of the way up your mat. And sit down on the inside of your left heel. Right leg straightens for half hero pose, Ardha Virasana. If you're really leaning over quite a bit, take a block, pop it under your right hip. Lean your hands back. Now, if you're not feeling stretch in this front quadricep, a block can also help you extend your hips up toward the ceiling and you'll get more stretch along the quads. And then go back onto forearms or elbows, wherever you feel comfortable, option to lie all the way back and down. Taking a moment here. Make your way up the way you came down. Rebend your front knee. Hands in front of your right foot. Step up onto your right foot and your hands lifting your left leg straight up and back for standing split. Work the left glute. Step it back, low lunge. Work your right shoulder underneath your right thigh. Take your L fingers, place it behind your right ankle. Hop up onto your left hand, right foot, and come back into standing split. Now with your shoulder bound underneath your right leg, you may not straighten your right leg as much. It's okay. Lift the left leg straight up into the air. And lower back down into low lunge. I'm going to give you my best angle yet again. Take your left hand over to the left. Maybe employ the use of a block. And this time as you hop up, same idea, but bend the left knee, snag the left foot with your right hand, and make your way into super soldier. Or standing split variation, depends on how you want to look at that. The key to balance is sliding your left hand forward and off to the left, so you have a kickstand for yourself. Those of us with long arms need to adjust quite a bit in order to find the proper height. Once you've snagged your foot, nice Maria.
This is the first time I've done this.
It's amazing. Looks really good. And release. Come on back. Breathe. It's all good. Step it back, down dog. It didn't even happen. It's not even a thing. Let that go. Inhale here. Exhale, child's pose. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Because we have all of that to do on the other side. Left leg straight up and back. Left knee, bend your left knee, open up your left hip. Option to lower onto your right forearm this time. Opening up the chest, maybe getting a little bit of a deeper twist. And straightening that left leg, popping up the right elbow if you lowered it. And as you exhale, pulling your left knee into your chest, stepping your left foot down between your hands, keeping the back heel lifted, rising up for high lunge. Arms by your ears, energizing your legs. Palms face one another. Now you know where we're going with this transition. Fix your gaze on a point ahead of you, and on your next exhale, pop up. Lift your right knee into your chest. Take your right knee out to the side. Reach down for your right ankle. Slide the sole of the right foot into your upper left inner thigh. Both hands to prayer at heart center, just because I enjoy the visual of our trees growing all together. And inhale, grow. Jazzy fingers, I like it. I like it a lot. Pull your right knee in, release the tree bind, and as you exhale, step it back right into your high lunge. Both hands to prayer, heart center, twisting over to the left, hooking your right elbow to the outer left thigh. Back knee can lower down for support or to deepen the twist. Left shoulder pulls back. Work those hands toward heart center. Both hands lower down to the mat. Back knee lowers down. Heel toe your left foot toward the left edge of your mat. Both hands to the inside of your left foot. Retuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. High lizard. Rock forward and back, side to side. And then lower your back knee down. Option to lower onto forearms or take your forearms onto blocks. And find a deeper variation. Keep a slight lift in your chest though. Hips still work toward the floor. Straightening your arms. Lifting your left arm up toward the ceiling. Bend the right knee, reach your left hand back, grab the pinky toe side of the right foot. And draw that right foot in toward your right hip, opening up the chest. Option to lower onto your right forearm. And if you're down, leaning it back. And release. Straightening your arms, heel toeing your left foot back between your hands, straightening your left leg. And again, this is a great pose to appreciate the difference on both sides, coming into half split or taking any depth to variation. There are muscles working in combination to get you into this split. The hamstrings of the front leg, also the hip flexors of the back leg. So there's a lot going on. There's no need to overstrain. The body will open when it's ready. Hands on blocks help. Some people have taken a block under their leg. And your body is different every day, especially winter to summer. Rebend your front knee, slide your hands forward, slide your back knee in 3/4 of the way up the mat, slide your right foot toward the right side of your mat, sitting down on the inside of your right heel and being very mindful to take a block underneath your left hip if you need it, straightening out your left leg. And then coming back onto hands or forearms. Feel it more, right? And again, Gab here has taken the option of the block underneath the hip to lie down in order to make the hips lift toward the ceiling. Extending the hip more helps the quads stretch a little more. Nice little tip and technique. If you're miserable in this pose, maybe focus on the day when you'll be great in this pose. happy even, sleepy perhaps. You have at least 100 years, Laura always says.
Not today.
Doesn't have to be today. And come up the way you came down. Bend your left knee, plant the sole of your left foot down. Slide your hands forward, maybe take blocks with you if you need to, coming into standing split. Right leg straight up into the air. Oh. Catching your breath. And step it back, low lunge. This time working your left shoulder underneath your left thigh, taking your index and thumb finger underneath your, behind your left heel, sliding your right hand forward, popping up onto your left foot, right hand, lifting your right leg into the air. So this split is bound. Your shoulders underneath your thigh. You probably won't get the leg up as high. Don't try to. Just find balance and extension. And come on down. This time, resetting yourself, reworking the shoulder underneath the thigh. This time getting to see what Super Soldier is like on the left side. As you hop up, take your right hand forward and off to the right. That's your balance point. Right knee high, reach your left arm back, grab the top of your right foot and look underneath your right arm. Take a moment, be patient with yourself. If you're not balancing, I can almost guarantee you your right hand is not forward enough or off to the side enough. Nice, Van. Lift your right knee up a little more, babe. Okay. And release. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, child's pose. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Right knee behind your right wrist, slide your left leg back, pigeon prep. Walk your hands forward and recline over your front shin. Finding your way here, making sure your back leg is extending straight back from your hip. And tuck your back toes under and use them as a rudder to help you square off your hips. Option here to slide your left arm underneath your right, coming into a thread the needle type pigeon. Wearing your left temple to the ground, using a little bit shift in body weight to open up the hip a little bit more. If you're really feeling bendy, you can reach your right hand behind you, snaking it behind your lower back and finding your right toes on the ground. And release the bind if you have it. Walk your hands back toward your shin. Tuck your back toes under. Lift up, downward facing dog. Take a moment, shake out that leg. Left leg straight up and back. Left knee pulls forward behind your left wrist. Left foot toward your right wrist. Slide your right leg back. Maybe take a glance back. Make sure your leg is straight. And then walk yourself forward, reclining over your front shin. Using the gravity, the weight of your torso to open up that left hip. An option here to Thread your right arm underneath your left. If you like that and you like a little more, maybe taking your left hand behind your lower back and snaking it over, finding your left foot on the floor, opening up the left shoulder. And release the stretch. Left hand down. Tuck the back toes under and press it back, downward facing dog. Shaking out that leg. Walk your feet to your hands and your hands to your feet. Meet yourself in the middle of your mat. Gently hang over your legs. Put a slight bend in your knees. Grab opposite elbows. Sway from side to side, ragdoll, noticing the difference, becoming aware of how your body feels in the beginning of class versus 3/4 of the way through class. Or as I like to say, the beginning of class. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Release your hands to the ground, slight bend in your knees, draw your navel up and in, and round up to stand, bone by bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. Bring your feet together. Inner thighs come to touch. Hands come to prayer at heart center. Come up onto the balls of both feet. And as you exhale, keep your heels kicking up as you bend your knees and pretend you're sliding down a wall, spine straight. Lowering your seat to your heels for a toe stand. Breathing here. If this is hard for you to balance, maybe taking your hands onto blocks, or maybe hugging one earlobe. There's a scientific explanation to that, and that is to distract you. Good. Bring your hands back to heart center. And now come up, keeping the heels lifted all the way up.
Like that.
And lower your heels down to the ground. Shake that out. That is option 1. If what we are about to do causes you any knee pain in any way, shape, or form, feel free to go back to double toe stand. Take your left hand to your left hip, palm up. Take the right knee up, reach down for the top of the right foot. And let the right knee fall out to the side. And take your right arm up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend your left knee and reach your right fingertips down to the floor. If they don't reach, grab a block. If your hands are down, rock on to the ball of the left foot. Bend your left knee. Sink down, coming into half lotus toe stand. Again, option to take double toe stand and save your knees for another day. On the count of 3, clapping both hands up overhead. You can do it. 1, 2, 3, and down. There we go. Good. Lean. Oh, Maria's doing standing ovation over there. Lean into your left foot. Straighten your left leg. Come all the way back up and release the bind. Okay, shake that out. Shake that out. Let that go. Let that go. Okay, left knee up and in. Right elbow to right hip. Palm up, reach down for the top of left foot. And let the knee fall out. Notice if this knee doesn't go out as far as the other knee. So palm up. Underhand scoop. Left arm up. Exhale, bend the knee as you reach for the floor. Right hand down to the floor. As soon as your hands make contact with the floor or with blocks, lean forward onto the ball of the right foot. Bend your knee, sink your seat toward your heel. Straighten your spine as much as possible. 1, 2, great. Hey! And lean forward. Press into your hands, let's into your right foot. Come all the way up and uncross. Shake that out. Arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, float back, chaturanga. And then all the way down to the ground you go. Right cheek on the ground, belly shavasana, hands back by your hips. Moosh, 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 your hips from side to side. Come up into Sphinx pose. Elbows, Sphinx. Wedge your elbows underneath you so your chest is lifted, and then walk your elbows back so you get an upper back bend in this posture. Press the tops of palms of your hands into the mat. Drag your chest forward and feel a stretch right along the abdominal area, the rectus abdominis. Some people feel this more than others. Just breathe here. Bend your right knee. Reach your right hand back for the big toe side of your right foot. Draw your right foot in toward the outer right hip. Slide the right hand over the top of the right foot, right elbow high. Option to press the knees a little closer together to get deeper stretch. Other option to press into your left hand, lift your left elbow, straightening your left arm, and then arch back. Maybe the right toes find the right ribs. And release. Bend your left knee. Reach your left hand back. Grab the big toe side of your left foot. Draw the left foot in, left elbow high. Top of the left hand over the top of the left foot. Maybe slide the knees closer together. Press into the right hand option. Lift the right elbow option. And release. Left cheek to the floor this time. Both hands back toward your hips. Bending both knees. Reach both hands back. Grab the pinky toe side of both feet. Kick your feet back into your hands. Ground through your thighs more and lift your chest up a little more. Breathe here. Exhale, release. Right cheek down to the floor, both hands back. Bend both knees again, this time reaching back for your ankles instead of the tops of your feet. So really reach, maybe slide your hands back one at a time. Using that extra real estate and grounding, kick your ankles back into your hands, lift up even higher, try to sink your knees down to the floor a little more, lift your chest up a little more. And release. I just got death stare from Rachel. Left cheek down to the ground. There was so much in that look, Rach. So much. And press back to child's pose. Swing your legs around and come to rest on your seat. Your bum, your butte, your batasana. Take a block. Soles of the feet toward one another. Take a block. Place it skinny side between the soles of your feet. Once you have those feet situated, draw your feet in. Flex them. Press the big toe mounds of either foot into the block. Then take your thumbs to the arches of both feet. Draw your elbows out to the side as you lift your chin and bring your chest closer to this block. Breathe. At this point, begin to engage the muscles in your outer hip and draw your knees toward the floor. Instead of just letting passive stretching occur. Engage the muscles for active stretching. And release. Oh, take your block. Turn it sideways. Notice the activity in my feet, no lazy feet. Pressing the big toe mounds of both feet into this block. Take my thumbs right back into the arches. Breathe in, lift my chest. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side as you draw your chest toward the block. Just let it happen passively for a moment. And now press your knees down to the floor, using the muscles in your outer hips. And release. Take your block, turn it sideways to what I like to call crowning. It's like, I just visualize, I haven't had children, but if your cervix did have to dilate, I'm thinking this is probably what it feels like. Could be wrong. Press the soles of your feet into the block. Press the big toe mounds into the block and press. Use the feet, the muscles of your inner thighs all the way. Should be fully engaged. Bend, put your thumbs into your inner arches. Bend your elbows out to the side. Bring your chest toward the block. Avoid rounding if possible. Draw your knees down and pull yourself closer to the floor. That's it. If you are seeing God, it's a good one. Good. Good. And release. Ooh, take the block out. Oh, straighten out your legs. Ah. Oh. Now take the soles of your feet together. No block. No block. And lean forward. How good does that feel now? Not good? Okay. It's good for me. It's not good for you? All right, come back up. Option. Completely 100% optional on this last one. To take the soles of your feet, to the edges of your feet to a block, soles of the feet are together. And if doing this alone causes you any pain in any way, shape, or form, take the block away and just do this stretch with your feet on the ground. If having your feet up a little bit makes you feel good, keep your feet up a little bit. And I always find that people think that when I'm in yoga, I'm doing something like crazy, like levitating. So let's prove them right and levitate a little bit. So it's a little awkward to get into. Push your hips toward the block. Lean onto one hand. Lift the hips up off the floor. Press the soles of your feet together. Knees out to the side. Hands to prayer at heart center. You are levitating. You're on the cover of the yoga journal. If you're on a foam block, a cork block, I'm sorry for you. And come all the way down. Very nice, very nice. Oh, yes, that was a graceful exit, everyone. Moosh, 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 windshield wiper, and lay on down. Oh, bend your knees, soles of the feet to the floor. You might feel a little bound up in the hip flexors after that little sequence. So counter postures. Walk your heels back toward your hands. Separate your feet, hip width distance apart. Press into your hands, press into your feet. Lift your hips toward the ceiling. Bridge pose. Interlace all 10 fingers underneath your lower back. Lift your hips up even higher. Roll your right shoulder under, roll your left shoulder under. Option to lift your chin away from your chest a little more so you can breathe with greater ease. And lower down. This next one is optional. Full wheel or supported bridge, taking a block underneath your lower back, or the bridge we just did. If you're going to do full wheel, I will cue you through it. Flip your hands back by your ears, fingertips pointing toward your heels. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips, come onto the crown of your head, pause. Slide your hands back an inch or two toward your feet. Press into your hands, press into your feet, straighten your arms, lift your hips toward the ceiling. Come up onto the tippy toes, make yourself smaller, walk your feet to your hands, extending your hips up as high as they'll go. Chin to chest, exhale, come on down. Lovely. You can remove the block if you still have it there. Pull your knees into your chest, make little circles. Interlace both hands over your right shin. Extend your left leg long onto the mat. Pull your right knee over past your right rib cage and up toward your right armpit, your right shoulder for wind relieving pose. Please feel free to not take this literally unless you're at home and you can do whatever you want. And release the pose, release the pose. Bend your left knee in. Interlace all 10 fingers over your left shin. Take your left knee out past the left rib cage and up toward your left shoulder, left armpit. Right leg is extended long onto the mat. Can't take you guys anywhere. Keep pressing through your right heel on the ground. And press the back of your right hamstring down into the ground. And release the pose. Bend both knees in. Grab the outer edges of both feet for happy baby. Notice the difference between this happy baby and the one from the beginning of class, which might not have felt nearly as pleasant. And rock back and forth from side to side. Rock toward the right side. Straighten your left leg, making a check mark shape with your legs. Come back to center. Rock to the left side. Straighten your right arm, right leg. Come back to center. Lower the soles of both feet to the floor. Extend your arms out to side like a capital letter T, or goalpost your arms. Bend your elbows at 90-degree angles and rest them on the floor. Taking a final spinal twist, bump both hips over to the right. Lower your knees to the left. Come back to center. Bump your hips to the left. Lower your knees to the right. Come back to center. Straighten your legs out onto the mat. Arms by your sides. Fingers curl up. Resting down into Savasana. And before we drift off, taking as our breathing exercise today, square breathing. In your mind's eye, picture a square, 4 even sides. And in your mind's eye, tug your attention to the lower left-hand corner of that square. As you inhale, trace up the left side of the square. As you exhale, go across the top. Inhale down the right side of the square. Exhale across the bottom. Inhale up the left, 2, 3, 4. Exhale top, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Exhale bottom, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Exhale top, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Exhale bottom, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. Exhale top. Inhale right. Exhale bottom. Take 2 more cycles on your own. You have the option to continue with the breathing exercise or let your breathing fall away into its natural rhythm and take the next few minutes of Savasana in peaceful relaxation. On your next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Bring your right arm up overhead, roll onto your right side. Resting down into the fetal position. Letting your body melt down into the mat. Noticing the difference in your body after your practice of yoga. The space that you created for yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally. And perhaps the greatest awareness you can bring is to your emotional state from the minute you walk through the door and step on your mat to when you leave. So send yourself a little light and love for doing something to nourish mind, body, and spirit today. And send a little light and love to the other yogis in the room who shared this practice and made it special. And then gently, with as little effort as possible, press yourself back up to a cross-legged seated position. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Bow your chin to your chest in one last gesture of gratitude today for this life and for this practice. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.
Namaste.